Something I've been thinking about lately has been, wondering about what my response should be to things getting worse. I mean, we know a lot of us think things are getting worse lately, and a lot of the times I see this idea of accelerationism, and I think I kind of get it, but I also think it's kind of foolish. So, from what I understand, accelerationism is letting things get worse and worse and worse until that somehow leads to your opposition getting weaker, probably like letting them gorge themselves on food until they're like too fat to move or something like that. Something metaphorically like that, I guess. But personally, I don't think acceleration is the right way to go because if you ask me, acceleration has a bigger chance of just conceding turf to your enemies. You know what I mean? Like, uh, okay, you're betting on the opposition of your leadership or the leadership of your opposition, you're betting on them being stupid. You're betting on them being stupid enough to ensnare themselves, basically, when there's a very real chance that they might be able to hold power forever, and you might have given it to them. You might have just conceded and let them gain more turf, and maybe they go on to use that for years. Maybe they go on to use it even past your death. So, that's what I feel. I feel like I get the idea, but I don't think it's the right way to go. I mean, to me, it makes more sense to try to intervene, and even if you do just slow down the rate at which things get worse, I think it's better than just letting things get worse faster, especially when there's no real guarantee of things getting better later. So that's what I was wondering. That's what I think about, things getting worse on the accelerationism part. And then there's also the question of, what to do with your resources. And what I mean by this is when do you know the big storm's coming? You know what I mean? Like if things keep getting worse and worse and it's gonna come to a point where anything you could give to, I don't know, whatever groups on your side or supposedly on your side, at what point is it better for you to save resources for yourself than to donate it to a group that most likely isn't gonna win? So like let's say I'm making money, right? Let's say I'm making I don't know, whatever amount of money I'm making, and things are getting worse and worse. And I could give that money to um I don't know, let's just call it bad problem uh let's just call it bad guy fighters group or something like that. Okay, and I could give my money to bad guy fighters group, but I think they do not look like they're going to reach their goal. I think they're going to fail. And I think my money, even if I mean well, is going to be wasted giving it to them. So, maybe I think, well, yeah, maybe I could understand giving some to bad guy fighters or whatever, but I think I can do more good right now just spending it on like a bunker or whatever. Like maybe the bad guys are gonna make everything terrible and evil. And maybe my money's better spent just making a little shelter for me and my family. And that's kind of what I'm wondering about. It's like at what point is it better to start spending resources on yourself, you know, on outlasting coming problems rather than giving it to fighting problems that you think is already lost. Like at what point are you just burning your money toward the lost cause? And at what point is it better for you to just concentrate on outlasting the consequences which are quickly approaching? And I guess it's kind of like accelerationism in a way, because I'm still withdrawing effort and spending it on myself, but I don't think acceleration specifies spending on yourself. What I'm talking about is spending it on yourself to prepare for consequences. And not because you want it to get worse faster, but just because you don't see it getting any better. Whereas with accelerationism, I think making it bad faster is just conceding turf, but um, if you choose to make the bunker or whatever fits the metaphor, you're concentrating on defending yourself, and that's different from just letting your enemy get their way. And I just want to know, at what time does it seem like it's time to do that? At what point are we out of time to fight? At what point do we run out of time to fight? And, now it's time to build a base or whatever. Build a base to outlast everything that's gonna come. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wonder, because there are a lot of factors, with prices going up and demographics shifting and things like that. And a lot of us have different opinions on all of those things. But, in the end, it still is a relevant question, I feel, when and how to allocate our resources. So, if any of you guys have any opinions on that, I'd like to hear. Personally, I don't know, I feel like things are a bit of a lost cause for the time being right now. I mean, I guess that's a strong way to phrase it. I think there's still some things that can be done, but I wouldn't blame anybody for trying to hunker down right now and focus on themselves and their families. But anyway, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments if you got a strong opinion on it. And that's about it. Goodbye.